quickly, just so you know, it is the fighter on the stage only tomorrow. For the weigh-in, it'll be fighter +1. Right now on the stage, it'll just be the fighter. So just the fighter right now. Please, thank you so much.
Luke, drop the overheads down. Did you do that?
Okay, everybody clear this area?
Ray is right. We got to move Ray's back it up. Sure thing. Yeah, I did. Stills down in front. iPhone guy down in front. That's better, Luke. Now, Luke, hit him with a light. Not anymore because we fixed ours. It's coming out of that box.
Quite as good. Like straight out. You like this straight out? So you got like a
Will there be any questions from the media on the live stream? Does anybody want to ask a question on the live stream?
For it to be like so wide.
Because it's ready so far to the right.
Yeah, I think
Move right closer to the
they're gonna move Ray a little closer.
Good, Luke. Much better. One of you guys plugged in with a band XLR. One of these.
What's up?
It's coming out of the box because maybe some. Well, whoever plugged in with one XLR. If you want to unplug one and see what happens, tell me the plugs is there now. You have to push the button, bro. You can plug your thing. Are you guys all online? No. Because you're going to DSLR? Yeah. So you're the guy? Switch the cable switch it from mic to line and back. No, you won't hear anything, but you might clear your signal. Still hear the buzz? We kind of done Yeah, each one's a dedicated line. You know what? Try the first input. Maybe you can bypass all the other ones. The only thing I can say is probably power.
Hey, very good afternoon and welcome to the Hyatt here in Los Angeles. As we are very excited for a big night of Showtime Championship Boxing this Saturday night from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, a venue that is legendary for producing action-packed fights. We go live on Saturday night on Showtime Championship Boxing at 10 Eastern, 10 Pacific time. We have a sensational triple header, but before we get to live action, we have been on a tremendous run when it comes to Premier Boxing Champions on Showtime. We will show you the encore of the tremendous lightweight championship showdown between Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz that happened this past Sunday at nearby Staples Center here in Los Angeles. Premier Boxing Champions on Showtime continues to deliver action-packed Fight of the Year candidates. We had a tremendous fight between Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas, followed it up with Sunday's lightweight clash with Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz. And now we continue with another week of action as we go ahead and have Nonito Donaire, the WBC Bantamweight Champion of the world, as he defends his championship against a fellow Filipino, the interim champion, Reymart Gaballo. Saturday night's event is presented by Premier Boxing Champions and promoted by TGP Promotions. Ray Flores, it's a privilege to be with all of you. If you are in the area, you can purchase tickets at AXS.com. Again, that is AXS.com. And for those of you all over the country, 10 Eastern, 10 Pacific time on Showtime Championship Boxing. Let's take a look at our triple header, our live action that comes away this Saturday from what I like to call the War Grounds in Carson. We will start off the evening with the rising sensation. He's a knockout artist. Brandon Lee will put his skills to the test against the very determined Juan Heraldez. Then we'll match up with two unbeaten fighters, Kudratilo Abdul-Kukurov, as he goes head-to-head against Canadian Cody Crowley. And then, as I mentioned in our main event, it'll be Nonito Donaire putting his WBC Bantamweight crown on the line against Reymart Gaballo. What's interesting about this show is that 4 of the 6 fighters are undefeated, so we continue to provide high-risk matchups and exciting ones. Let's go ahead and talk with the fighters as we go ahead. I'm going to ask them questions, and then I will open it up to the medium. I will start off with Juan Heraldez, who has a record of 16 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Las Vegas, he holds a win over Jose Miguel Borrego and Eddie Ramirez. Now, for you, Juan, you are coming off of a loss at the hands of Regis Prograis last Halloween. That was in San Antonio on the undercard of Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz on Showtime pay-per-view. What did you learn in that fight?
I learned just prepare better. Just don't rely on my skills and my talent. Just physically prepare myself.
Now, you changed trainers from what I gather. You now are led by your amateur trainer, Gilberto Martinez. Why did you decide to make that change?
Because I need a coach that has a plan, a game plan, and a method to the madness that we have to go put ourselves through to train and get the best out of us.
Now, Brandon Lee has been wiping out his opponents. He's a knockout artist, but where do you feel you have the advantages over Lee?
Well, we're going to find out on Saturday. Honestly, I really haven't watched video. I know his box rec is whatever, his record is what it is, but I mean, we're going to see Saturday.
All right, that is Juan Heraldez, ladies and gentlemen, and now we move on to Brandon Lee, 23-0, 21 knockouts from La Quinta, California. 14 straight wins by either knockout or TKO. Brandon, will it be 15 straight against Juan Heraldez on Saturday night?
I'm going there to win, so it don't matter how it goes down. I might knock him out, I might go the distance, but at the end of the day, I'm going there to win and do what I do.
Do you feel any additional pressure knowing from the public that they expect you to go out there and wipe out your opponents and win in such impressive fashion?
No, not at all, because like I said, I turn everybody out, and I go in there, I do what I do. It doesn't matter if I go for the knockout, I go for the win. I'm going in there to win, and come Saturday night, 24-0.
When I examine your record, I think it's crazy to me that you haven't been past the 4th round. Do you like the fact that you wipe out your opponents quickly, or are you of the mindset that at some point, maybe even this fight, that you want to go 6 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds, or the distance?
I don't get paid for overtime, so it don't matter if I go 1 round or 10 rounds.
Juan, you're the underdog coming into this fight against Brandon Lee. Does that motivate you? Does that bother you, or do you pay no attention to it?
I've been underdog before against an undefeated fighter with a winning record or whatever, but there's nothing, it's whatever to me. It's just boxing. You gotta box me.
How do you see the fight playing out on Saturday? Juan.
Just showing off where I'm supposed to be going, and with my skills and my talent, speed and power, and my jab, everything.
Do you think we're going to go back? Because the fight that stands out to me when it comes to your career is the win over Jose Miguel Borrego. He was a power puncher. He was coming up in the ranks. Do you think that we're going to sort of get that kind of performance against Brandon Lee on Saturday?
I think it's going to be better.
Even better?
Even better.
Why so?
Because I got a good coach now. I got Gil Martinez in my corner, and I prepared myself physically, mentally, all around. Yeah.
Brandon, when it comes to Juan Morales, how would you assess him as a professional? He obviously has a record of 16-1-1. He's been in there against some quality names, but how would you assess Juan Morales?
He's a good boxer, good speed, lie on his feet, and definitely my best opponent today.
And how do you see the fight going down on Saturday?
I can't predict the future, but one thing I can predict, me winning.
All right, Brandon Lee, ladies and gentlemen, Juan Morales, that'll begin our live portion on Saturday night from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Now we will move on to a matchup between 2 unbeaten welterweights, Cody Crowley out of Canada against Kudratilo Abdukukarov. I will start off with Kudratilo Abdukukarov, we actually have Samson Lukowicz, who I didn't even know this. I know he is one of the best talent scouts for boxing in the business, but he actually speaks 7 languages. So he will be translating for the Uzbekistan fighter. And when it comes to Kudratilo, he's 18-0 with 10 knockouts. You've been the mandatory challenger for the IBF Welterweight Championship of the World, currently held by Errol Spence since March of 2019. Do you think a win over Crowley on Saturday on Showtime Championship Boxing will finally give you enough of a push to finally get that title shot that you so covet?
Hi, this is my Samsung, this is my promotion. He helped me because he's no good talk English.
Well, then I will help him out to answer this question.
Well, I know for the past... Go ahead, Samson. Do you have anything more to add?
He asked me if he can repeat the question.
Oh, he wants me to repeat the question. You've been the mandatory challenger for the IBF Welterweight Championship for over 2 years, going on 3 years now. Do you think a win over Crowley gets you to that title shot?
Yeah, I win this IBF eliminator fight. Then I wanted to fight this. Jangim chiroyli nokaut bilan yutib, hozir shu Errol Spence bilan chempionlik jangini olib bormoqchiman.
Definitely, I will win this fight, and then after 3 years, I deserve a shot to be a champion.
Now, I know for the past 5 weeks you've been working with Manny Robles, who used to train the likes of Andy Ruiz, former heavyweight champion of the world, also super welterweight contender Terrell Gaballo. Oh, how much have you learned working with Manny and his entire team?
Manny Robles murabbiyimiz bilan juda ko'p ishladik. Jangimizga juda ham ko'p sportlarni o'tkazib, jangga yaxshi tayyorlandik.
Robles is a great trainer. I learned a lot, and I will show that on Saturday night.
You fought 2 straight southpaws in Javier Flores and Luis Collazo. Crowley will be your 3rd straight southpaw. Do you feel that that benefits you, because it's not often that a fighter goes head-to-head against 3 straight southpaws in their career?
Men shu so'rma jangimni dosh knockout bilan chiroyli g'alabaga erishib, Xudo xolasa shu Errol Spence bilan IBF chempion jangiga tushaman inshaalloh.
Two softball is good. The third one, I will knock him out, and then I will go to knock Spencer out.
You're saying you're going to knock out Errol Spence?
Yeah.
I don't need translation on that. My goodness. Okay, Kudratilo Abdukukarov. Well, let's meet the man that will be standing across the ring from him. 19-0, 9 knockouts from Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Cody, when you hear Kudratilo say he's going to knock you out, and then he's going to go on to knock out Errol Spence, do you think that he's overlooking you?
First thing I want to say is, Mom, look who's on TV now. Shout out to my family back home in Canada. Getting back to your question, you know, I got offered this fight back in April. I was on vacation. I was in the mountains. I was just chilling. I accepted this fight 5 weeks notice. Signed a contract without even questioning it. Next thing you know, this guy backs out. A couple months later, the same thing. Now we're finally here. I have a feeling that they're just looking over me. They don't really know what I'm capable of doing. There's a reason why I've been in the ring with, 20 plus world champions. People outside the boxing ring, they don't know who I am, but everybody inside the boxing scene knows who I am and what I'm capable of. And he's 100% overlooking me mentioning Errol Spence's name. Come Saturday night, this guy's gonna find himself in waters that he can't quite swim in. I survive in environments where most people get destroyed. So Saturday night, someone better throw this man some water wings.
Whoa, Samson, what is his response to, sort of summarizing that he feels you guys are overlooking him and he's going to take you and drown you in those deep waters? What's his response?
Bu boks buni bilmaydi, endi Xudo xolasa buni ring ko'rsatadi-da buni.
He said that he have no sympathy for him. Don't put any excuse. I will knock you up anyway.
Cody says he'll knock you out anyway. What do you want to do to him on Saturday night on Showtime Championship Boxing?
All you got to do is see who's standing in the center of the ring from the time the bell rings and who's running around till the bell stops.
Now you're coming off of, you're supposed to fight Gabriel Maestre back in August, but you came down with COVID. The one thing, we see different fighters and athletes respond in different ways to responding and returning action from dealing with that deadly disease. But how are you feeling physically heading into this fight on Saturday?
I'm feeling fantastic, healthy. I'm a world-class athlete. This is the level I'm supposed to be on. There's a reason why people can't keep up with me in the ring. There's a reason why they can't keep up with my punch count is because I am just a machine. And I have a feeling that this Kudratilo on Saturday night is going to find out that maybe it's not a human in front of him, it's a machine, because this dude's just not stopping.
Do you think that he is ranked #1 right now in the IBF rankings? He's the contender, the #1 contender. He's been that way for over 2 years to Errol Spence's IBF welterweight crown. Do you think a win for you puts you in that conversation into that top 5 ranking where you can clamor for a world title shot?
100%. I've been waiting for this opportunity. This is where I belong. This is where I live. This is where I thrive. I feel at home right now. So a win over Kudratilo puts me exactly where I already know I am. I already am a world champion in my head. The world just doesn't know it yet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Cody Crowley, Kudratilo Abdukukarov, both men say they are going to make a statement against one another on Saturday night. That is our co-main event on Showtime Championship Boxing. Now we will move on to our main event of the evening for the WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World from Dignity Health Sports Park in nearby Carson. I will start off with the interim WBC Bantamweight champion from General Santos City, Philippines. His record 24 wins, no losses, 20 wins coming by way of knockout. Reymart the Assassin Gaballo. Reymart, you grew up watching Nonito Donaire. What does it mean for you to be fighting the Filipino Flash for the Bantamweight Championship of the World on Saturday night?
It's an honor to fight with my idol, I'm so excited too.
In your last fight, you were victorious over former world champion Emmanuel Rodriguez by split decision. What did you learn in that fight that you feel will benefit you against Donaire on Saturday?
Like, when I look at my last fight, I need to improve my head movement and I need to throw some more punches.
All right, Reymart Gaballo, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get back to him, but now I want to bring up a man who has been there, done that many times over again. A 4-division world champion. He was the 2012 Fighter of the Year, involved in the 2019 Fight of the Year against Naoya Inoue. Coming up or back on May 29th, knocked out Nordine Obali to become the oldest bantamweight champion in history. Ladies and gentlemen, from Bohol, Philippines, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, it gives me with great honor and pleasure to welcome the WBC Bantamweight Champion of the World, the Filipino Flash, Nonito Donaire. Nonito, with everything that you've accomplished in your career, why do you decide to continue to fight at this high level? What motivates the Filipino Flash at 39 years of age?
I think for me, after that Inoue fight, I was brought about a purpose, after becoming Fighter of the Year, I was going up and down, kind of floating in fights. But after that fight, I felt that I can do this. And I think the purpose in me, and this is why I came in really strong with Obali, and very confident today, is because I have a purpose, and that purpose is becoming undisputed champion of the world.
So with that being said, you are taking on a fellow Filipino, Reymart Gaballo. You haven't fought a fellow Filipino since we have to go back November 2nd, 2002. Nearly 20 years you fought Mark Sales. What does it mean for you to be stepping inside the ring against somebody who's 14 years younger than you, but he's 24-0, 20 knockouts, he's very hungry, he's got a big power shot, and he's looking to go ahead and sort of dethrone his idol?
Well, for me, I'm actually, first and foremost, I'm proud that there's another Filipino, like the Mexicans have done throughout the years, where they're fighting in this level. And for me, I'm actually proud that there is another Filipino at this type of level, in this type of stage, to be sharing this ring with me, and I'm proud of that. I know that Reymart is very hungry. He has a big dream. Like everybody coming from the Philippines, we have a dream. He has a dream, and I know that he will be at his best, and this is why I'm prepared at my best as well.
Reymart, in a recent interview, you said in preparation for Nonito Donaire that you have to look out for that vicious left hook. We've seen him put away many fighters with that left hook. In training camp, how have you been preparing to deal with that vaunted left hook that Nonito Donaire uses?
Every time we train in the gym, we always they always throwing me like same punches with my the hope of Nonito, but I thought that that's not the only one to be like what you call this? Oh no, like di lang bantayan ba?
He's saying that they're not just the left hook.
Nonito Donaire's translating for his opponent. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Go ahead, continue with the translation.
He's saying that it's not just the left hook that he needs to look out for. I also have other arsenal that are that to look out for as well. Not just the left hook.
Unbelievable. He's trash talking himself. Nonetheless, my final few questions for Reymart. You are 14 years younger than Nonito Donaire. is it advantageous for you to push the pace knowing that he is 39 years of age? Does a faster pace, more high action, high volume favor you?
No, it didn't. I know, like, even though the age is not, it's just like a number, but I know that his movement is still same as before.
Now, Nonito, you've been in there with every style under the sun, but he does have 20 knockouts of his 24 victories. Do you think that your experience is going to play a factor in the fight, and how do you plan on combating the power that he has?
Well, I faced a lot of guys like Inoue, Darchinyan, and even Walters, all these powerful guys, and the thing about being experienced is we have no fear of it. And so therefore we're mainly focused on our strategy and the variety of style that comes forward in my head that I can take advantage of his style. Ultimately, just 100% ready. We build on mental fortitude so that whatever the case happens, we're always going to push through adversity and be ready, because I believe that we are only as strong as our mind can be. And so I know that I'm 100% because my mind is to the roof, or to the moon.
I love it. Reymart, my final question to you. What would a win over Nonito Donaire, when Jamie Lennon Jr. were to say, and the new WBC Bantamweight Champion of the world, mean to you on Saturday night? What would that moment mean to you to become the new world champion as if you were to defeat Nonito Donaire? Nonito just doing it all, I swear. Unbelievable.
I'm so very happy, but because of my dugay anak ko na pangandoy makuha anak ko.
He's saying that it gives him great pleasure and happiness because it's what he's been looking for all his life, to be announced as a world champion.
Nonito, you've been very vocal about the respect between the two. How much does it mean for you to sort of be sharing the ring with the guy who looked up to you, and the fact that you don't have to trash talk, you're translating for him, for crying out loud. So he's giving his predictions, but what does this mean for you as you sort of are on the latter stages of your career?
I'm just here and enjoying that moment of whatever I have in this career. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I'm excited. Every day I'm excited. I'm in the gym. I feel like I'm 21 and I feel like I can do this for another 10 years.
Another 10 years? Wait a minute, you're going to fight till you're 50?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Where's Rachel at? Is Rachel okay with that to fighting?
Well, it depends on the queen, right? It depends on the queen where my life stands. I'm just each day I take it, each fight I take it, and I'm just grateful for every moment of it. And I love the fact that, and I want to bring it all out there, that this is a gentleman's sport. I believe that it gives a lot of credibility of a fighter when he can speak to somebody with respect, with sportsmanship. And that's what I bring out there is to inspire people that it's not about being on top and talking crap about other people. Yes, there's things like that, and that's okay. It's part of the game. But I believe that a greater man is when he can look into his opponent's eyes and shake hands with them and go for the kill when they're in the ring. At the end of it all, it's a sport, it's a game, it's a career. And again, everybody's different, they have their own perspective. For me, my perspective is I love the sport of boxing. It's what given me everything that I have, and I'm going to represent it to the best of my ability with respect, with honor, and integrity.
You talked about unification. Assuming all goes well and you're victorious over Reymart Gaballo on Saturday in Showtime Championship Boxing at Dignity Health Sports Park.
Still, you say you for him, so you got to say.
Okay, so assuming that Jamie Lennon says, and still, the WBC Bantamweight Champion of the world, as you look at unification when it comes to Naoya Inoue, I was in Japan. That was an amazing fight. Or also, man, you talked about respect. There's been some trash talk with, on the side of John Riel Casimero. He holds the WBO Bantamweight Championship. Where do you lean towards? Is that next for you? assuming that all goes according to plan and Jimmy Lennon says, and still WBC Bantamweight champion of the world?
The very key, and I will always say this, the guy that I truly trust in this game is Richard Schaefer, and I'm always going to leave it up to him.
So it's up to Richard Schaefer and your promotional team to go ahead and dictate as to what's next for Nonito Donaire.
But I'm going to go after all of them.
Okay, so in a way, in order, Donaire, or not Donaire, but Inoue or, Casimero, who would you want?
Well, they both have the belt that I'm looking for. But again, whatever's easier, and I'm going to leave it up to Richard because Richard knows how to make fights.
All right, now we're going to open it up to questions from the media. If you have questions for the fighters up here, by all means, raise your hand and ask the questions.
Hi, this question is for Nonito. Miguel Maravilla from Fight News. Nonito, you fought numerous times at Carson, StubHub Center, Home Depot Center. Now it's the Dignity Health Sports Park. There's been lots of memorable fights. Now you're fighting a fellow Filipino. Why is this fight going to be memorable and the same way as some of the memorable fights that?
Well, I think that for me, it just shows where my experience and the level of my performance is going to be on this fight. But mainly, I am really proud that there are two Filipinos fighting, in this stage. So yeah, ultimately that's my case. Why it's memorable for me. But the performance that I intend to showcase on Saturday is also going to be noteworthy.
More questions from the media?
This question is for Brandon. Not overlooking Juan, but say you do come out victorious, is 2022 going to be a campaign there for one of the title shots?
I believe so. I'm 23 years old, and by the end of 2022, my team and I, Cameron Duncan, and my team will get together and we'll discuss that.
This is Frankie Olague from FightHype.com. My question is for Reymart Gaballo. Reymart, how do you approach this fight knowing that Nonito is an idol to you and at the same time he's an older fighter? You obviously have respect for him, but how are you approaching this fight mentally?
Again, not too much like, but I will do my best in the ring. Buhatan rin ako tanan akong ginabuhat sa training para gawa akong performance sa dula.
He said that he will do everything that they have done during training in preparation for this fight so that he will fight very well and go for the win.
Mohammed Mubarak with the Electronic Urban Report. My question is for Cody Crowley. You have a very impressive ring record, and could you tell us what did it take for you to go down this journey to get to this point in your life, and what does it mean to have a win Saturday night?
It's took a lot of sacrifice. I'm from a super small town in Canada where boxing doesn't really exist. And from a small age, I had this burning desire inside me to become something great. And all I really had was 2 fists and a beating heart. And I put all of that, everything I had to the test, made the sacrifices I need to make, moved to Las Vegas, put myself in the best possible environment to be successful, got the best trainer in the game, surrounded myself with the right people, the right world champions to guide me in this sport. And as you can see, my record stands for it, 19-0. If you want to go to the scorecards, you can see that out of the 150-something rounds I've boxed, I don't think I've even lost 1 round. All that comes from this crazy work ethic that I put in the gym every single day. Because when I wake up, ever since I was a young kid, I said that I'll become a world champion. And I go to sleep knowing that I'll become a world champion. So really, at the end of the day, this comes down to sacrifice. And look, now I'm on Showtime. You know, I put in the work, I sacrificed what I need to. Now I'm on live TV. A small kid from a small town doing big city things. So, message out there to anybody in the world, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Doesn't matter how big the competition is. Doesn't matter if they say they're gonna knock you out. You know, I stand in front of any wall that stand in front of me. And I plan on breaking through it. That's what I've done my whole life. Keep climbing over walls, keep climbing over obstacles.
And Cody, to my knowledge, you haven't lost a round since, what, April of 2016, am I correct on that?
Possibly. I don't think I've ever lost a round.
Okay.
That's probably one of the judges giving it to another guy, you know, maybe feeling sorry for him. But I personally believe that I outwork my opponent every single round. I'm throwing 100+ punches around for 12 rounds straight. So when you see Cody Crowley in the ring, you're going to see an action-packed fight. A lot of this game that I've been seeing lately is people are so scared to lose. People are so scared to risk things that a lot of these fights get boring. And when I'm in that ring, I put it all on the line. I'm not scared to lose. I'm not scared to get knocked out. I'm here to fight. I'm here to entertain. This is what the people who have went and saved up their hard-earned money are expecting. They're expecting you to go out there and lay your life on the line. And that's what I do every time I step in the ring. And I do it for all the people that support us. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
All right, quickly, I want to go around before we let these guys go. Prediction time. I'll start off with Juan Heraldez. Juan, Saturday night, your prediction, sir?
Predict a win. Just a nice win. Everybody, I guess, going to be surprised, but we won't be.
Brandon Lee, your prediction on Showtime Championship Boxing as you take on Juan Heraldez.
24-0 coming Saturday.
All right, co-main event, Cody Crowley, Kudratilo Abdukukurov. Cody, your prediction?
I'm predicting an action-packed fight with my hand being raised at the end. I really don't see it going to the scorecards.
You're saying you're going to knock him out?
I don't see it going to the scorecards.
Okay. All right, Kudratilo Abdukukurov, undefeated, ranked #1 by the IBF at 147. Your prediction against Cody Crowley?
Bu bokschi shunaqa jang qilib, shunaqa nima ko'rsataman debdi. Xohlasa undan chiroyli shunaqa jang ko'rsatib, inshaalloh kutaman.
He said that he will win, he will knock him out. He never lost a round because the competition that he has. It's no competition compared to him.
So the key word in that fight, 10 rounds or less. Key emphasis on less. Someone is likely being put to sleep in our co-main event. Now our main event, the WBC Bantamweight Championship of the World. 2 Filipino fighters going at it first. The interim WBC Bantamweight Champion, Reymart Gaballo. Your prediction against Nonito Donaire? Prediction.
Indot niya yung adula mong mapakita sa tanan din ni kamot mo madakulaw ko ani dula.
He is predicting that it will be a very good fight and he will do the best he can to win this fight.
Well, I love the respect being shown by Reymart Gaballo. Nonito Donaire, the oldest bantamweight champion in history, the reigning WBC bantamweight champion of the world. How do you see your fight playing out against Reymart Gaballo?
Reymart is a really good fighter, but we're very, very confident. And the only thing that I have in my head, because I got bigger fish to fry, bigger fish to fish, to go after, and I'm like he said, he'll do his best, I'll do my best. But in my confidence, victory is the only thing. I'm burning all the ships. There is no going back without victory.
Nonito Donaire, ladies and gentlemen, all 6 fighters are part of our Showtime triple header. This upcoming Saturday night, give them a round of applause as we come your way from Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Before we go live, we'll have the replay of Gervonta Davis, Isaac Cruz. Thank you so much for joining us, and now we will have the ceremonial stare downs between each fight.
Hey, how are you?
Down in front.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let me know where.
Anthony, you good? They're too far apart.
What? They didn't have a set. This wasn't the markers. Yeah, so yeah, great.
Let's go, Brad. Okay, straight ahead, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna look back there.
Showtime in the back.
Look over there, back there. Got it. Is that good? Okay. Go, please. Okay, look over here, guys. Thank you. Down here first.
Down here in the middle, guys.
Back here.
Good. That's good. Thank you, guys.
No, wait, hurry. All six.
We got
Right down here for showtime. Great.
Wait, in the back, guys. Guys, in the back.
Back in the back.
This up, nice and strong. Thank you. Yeah.
Down here in the middle, fellow.
Give me a couple shots there.
And then right here for showtime. Thank you.
Okay, ready back there, guys?
Last time, all right. Thank you, fellas.
First time I see Hey, Marvin! Marvin, One, two, three. Thank you.
Huh? How did it feel to be up there on get that press conference experience?
It's dope. That was my first time doing something like that, so it's dope.
Now, I guess first off, you did the first face-off with your opponent. Yeah. Did you see a little bit in his eyes, or did you see anything?
Nah, like I called it. Like I said, he trying to stare me down, and you know when the dude told me to turn, at first I didn't turn, but then he grabbed my leg and said turn, and I said all right, turn. But like I predicted it.
You know, you always show up in shape, you're always motivated, you're always ready to rock and roll. We had a little talk this week that, you know, obviously Donaire is the main event. As we Brandon Lee week, you're going to show a great performance. And I believe last time you fought in this arena, you had a mouthpiece flying out of something.
I did, yeah.
So obviously you're looking to have a passionate performance on this week.
Yeah, well, most definitely. You know, it's an honor to fight on, you know, a legend like Nonito Donaire's card. So I'm looking at this as another opportunity to showcase my skills.
Have you had a chance to talk with Donaire prior to today or a little bit today or anything?
I spoke to him a little bit today. He came up to me and said, it actually surprised me. And he just told me, you know, keep on doing what I'm doing. And, you know, it's an honor.
You know, and seeing the fact that, you know, Nonito is considered a legend, many people a future Hall of Famer, and getting those words of encouragement and then fighting on the card, how extra motivation does that give you just to make sure that you just don't perform in front of your friends and your family, but someone who's already keeping an eye out on you like that?
It does give me that little extra boost, but at the end of the day, I motivate myself. It sounds cocky as hell, but I motivate myself. I worked way too damn hard to come this far, and for me to come up short.
And then lastly, you know, just seeing that your opponent has faced, you know, former title holder Regis programs and Regis had a great performance. And are you looking to, obviously not in comparison, but to have an equal or better performance than Regis?
Not at all. You know, Regis program and I, we have different styles. Myself and Juan, we have different styles. My opponent, we got different styles. The style makes fights, and I'm not looking at no one else's play. Prograde did his thing, I'm gonna do my thing.
You know, and then of course, always I'm excited in the future this week to see some Brandon Lee gear. So are you gonna show a little new merch or anything?
Some merch. Myself, I really don't be rocking my merch at the fights or like at the gym, back home. But stay tuned for the new merch drop.
Awesome. We'll catch up and we'll do some more.
So thank you, I appreciate that. Sounds good, Ron.
Brandon, can I grab you real quick?
A little bit? Yeah. Okay. You give me an email.
Hi, oh wait. I don't need it. I'm sorry. Ready? Okay. I'm sorry.
So, Franco from FightHype.com. I'm here with Freddie. Brandon Lee, Donaire undercard. Huge thing going on. How excited are you to see?
Oh, good. The big stage, good opponent, so it's going to be a good fight. Yep.
Now, seeing that Brandon is a top contender in the 140 division, and just kind of putting a little more spotlight exposure in what you do in his corner as one of the coaches, what specific roles are you signed in Brandon's camp?
Just pretty much preparation, you know, defense, just all around, yep, getting them ready.
And how did you and Brandon link up and with his family and everything?
I started with Brandon when he turned pro, yep. So from his first pro fight, I've been on board, yep.
And you, in your experience with boxing, have you trained with fighters? Have you been?
I've been involved with other fighters, and yeah, in the past a few, yep.
And what makes Brandon so different from all the fighters that you've been around or seen? Like, what makes him special?
Well, what I see with Brandon, he's 100% focused. That's the biggest thing. He's 100% focused. Nothing distracts him, and you know, he has these goals that he's going to accomplish just because of his work ethic and the discipline. Yep.
And seeing that he's not just a full-time fighter, but he's also, you know, a full-time
student. Yeah. Yep.
Seeing that, you know, in a fighter, how much does that play in his training? Do you see
it's balanced out because he trains. He makes time for both things, and that's pretty much what he does. You know, he has this goal set on being educated and getting a degree and being a world champion. So he makes time in the day for those two things always. Yep.
And and you mentioned you hold pads and work on some defense.
Yep.
Have you felt the power of Brandon and his
Oh, yeah, you can feel it in your bones, man. I'm serious, yeah. He when we started camp, he'll be, decent power, but towards the end, it's right on. Yep.
You can describe it.
I always feel sorry for the guy standing in front of him. That's straight up. Yeah, because they don't know what they're getting into once they, because Brandon Lee, he's been knocking people out like this before people started seeing it on TV. Yeah. So when I see them, it takes just one shot, and then the fight could be over. You know what I mean? That's the kind of power. He's actually put people to sleep, stuff like that. But people are barely seeing it now because of, Showtime. Yeah, but he's been doing this.
His opponent kind of was like, I've seen his record, and he's going to come. Is that a huge mistake? Obviously, but going into a fighter like Brandon and not knowing the power that he possesses.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be a shocker. Even a jab, stiff jab. Yeah, it's going to be a shocker for him. He'll realize it once he gets touched up a little bit, and then once that happens, like they say, everybody has a plan until they get hit. Then. He has his plan, but once he feels the power, he's going to resist a little bit and hold back a little bit, and then Brandon will hopefully just, take over the fight and knock him out any way he wants to. Yeah.
And then before, the fight, heads up, any last message or words for the fans that are fans of Brandon and future tuning in to see?
All I can say is don't blink. That's it, man. Yep. Yeah. He's on his way. He's doing good. Yep.
And do you have any social medias or anything?
No. Nothing at all, man. Nothing.
Awesome.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
My old friend. That's why we love the sport. Bruce will hand me to take a picture with Cameron. Get me out of here.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I was saying. I'm like, I've never seen anything like this in my life. Like, what? I was like, this is nuts, man. It's like, in a weird way. Yeah, I know. And then the low of viciousness. Man, he is lethal. How have you been, though, man? Gonna be down in New Jersey with Christmas with us? That's how it happened. And go to Miami New Year's Day. Might as well,
Big fan.
Seriously, I'm gonna for you on that Sunday. Spend Christmas. We're gonna do like Christmas on Sunday. Wednesday. We got a fight. We got Thursday. Press conference win. Fight on Saturday.
Yeah, my draw, they were just doing that to build like.
I need to give this on the back. No, 8 Eastern. Yeah.
Oh, I'm tripping. So it's the other way around.
8 Eastern, yeah. So we start later on the East Coast earlier.
Some arrows there.
Hey, Nonito, as always, thank you so much. It's great seeing you. It's been great covering your journey as well and seeing you reach this type of second success this time around. Here with the Ageless Wonder, Nonito Donaire, Marcos Vegas. Yeah, good seeing you.
This is
Nonito, let's talk about this upcoming fight, man.
It's great. I'm very excited. Very excited.
You're coming back to Carson. You scored a big win. Let's talk about your last fight against Gaballo.
We worked really hard for it. Strategically, we studied the fight, and we came in with a great game plan.
What's this preparation been like for this fight?
I had an enormous training camp with great sparring partners like Angelo Leo and Smoky Kamena.
Which sparring gave you the toughest time? The best.
And both guys were incredible and helped me prepare for this fight.
Reymart Gaballo, looks like you guys have the utmost respect for yourself. What have you seen in him in style?
I think I see a lot of flaws in his things. He's strong, but if you're fearful of his strength, then he'll take you. But if you go in between those cracks, you'll get him.
What could fans expect from Nonito Donaire? Fans, media,
I've always go out there for a KO. I always go out there for the kill. That's it. That's pretty much what I've always been, and I will always do it.
Thank you very much, and good luck to you, man.
Thank you, sir. GM is next.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
We're back here. It's another fight. Just finally, Warren is from Oliver. Liz, how are you feeling now? You're fighting again in December in Carson, and it's to settle the WBC, on the whole WBC.
I feel great, man. I feel amazing. We're very ready for this fight. Just prepared, like we said.
Press conference. I think first time I've seen opponents translate for each other. It's refreshing, considering the whole summer of social media. Just how do you feel about?
Just great respect. The kid is a great kid.
Are you gonna try and
great fighter as well?
like Reymart record, mostly, so I guess, what's your message to all the fans watching? We're all excited for this.
Manood po kayo fight, maganda yung laban against two Filipinos. So maging proud po tayo kasi may dalawang Pilipino na maglalaban ng World Championship. So to everybody out there, it's going to be an amazing fight, so please stay tuned.
Actually, like I said, the last two all-Filipino fights, medyo, it wasn't as eventful, diba? Yung Angkas and then the Donnie and Ashton. I think the respect might have been too much. How do you kind of avoid that, I'm with another Filipino.
Inside the ring, I mean, I'm the ninth guy outside, but inside the ring, there's another person. I just go out there, I don't see anybody. We have anybody like brothers or anything like that.
Alright, good luck, bro.
Ano lang, prepare lang ako because alam ko na magaling yung kalaban ko at alam ko na isa siyang he's a hungry man, you know, at determined siya. So kailangan ko na not to be overconfident.
Sa daming laban dito sa Carson, like up sa ila, na-cover kita. Ano pa bang gusto mangyari ng isang minuto lang?
Ang gusto ko lang makuha talaga yung honest man. Makuha ko yung lahat na belts. Yun yung pinaka-goal ko sa
itong laban na to sa step chest, isang step mo para sa buhay mo. Maraming sasabi na yung reach mo, gusto ba sa tingin?
Wala naman. I've been performing really well sa training at maganda yung feeling ko sa katawan ko at kahit anong edad ngayon, parang feel ko talagang mas malakas ko ngayon.
Sa bagay na ngayon, ano gusto mong maalala ng mga
Looking around, okay, where is he? He's over there. Okay, he's over there.
Makita sila na binigay ko lahat the adversity na binigay ko. Kahit natalo ako, mag-training ko ng gusto na mas magaling pa at nanalo. At ma-inspire yung mga kapag Pilipino at gagawin ko lahat na ang level.
Sa bagay na gano'n na sa karin, may pinagsisihan pa sa
wala akong pinagsisihan kasi lang nandito ako because of all the
Do it together. It's 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, you have two questions.
I'm here. So with everybody, with any regrets, I take credit for
build bridges. We don't want to burn bridges. We want to be the armed forces boxing, which is going to unify everybody and elevate
us. At maging proud po tayo nga, dalawang Pilipino yung lalaban at bigyan po kami ng support at prayers na okay lang kami after the fight. At sa mga Bisaya din ha, inatutang tanawon ninyo, supportahan ninyo ang among away. Gikan naman sa Jinsan. So sa inyo atin natanan, shout out na lang ko sa inyo at salamat kayo.
Can you divide?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Ready? 1, 2, and 3. One more.
Thank you very much, Bias. Good luck.
Last one.
You got one more. Joint interview, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah.
Legend, man. Talk to us a little about your fight coming up on Saturday.
Well, you know, I came into this stage well prepared. You know, our training camp was tremendous. You know, and the kid is he's a nice kid. You know, and he he's an undefeated kid. He's hungry. For me, I'm just ready. You know, I have a bigger goal to really go for and become an undisputed. But I'm not looking past this kid at all.
Now, seeing the fact that you're more than anything a future Hall of Famer, accomplished so many things, and a present legend in the sport. Fighters like Brandon Lee and Gaballo's coming up and watching for years. Did you get a chance to talk to like Brandon prior or give him any type of words of encouragement? Seeing that?
I mean, it was very simple. You know, we're all cutting weight, so we don't really want to talk about anything. We just want to nod and like, hey, what's up, man? You know, perhaps after when we have the time to just kind of settle down and hang out. Then I would definitely give some advice if I can or if it's accepted.
But for now, we're just kind of saying, nodding, and then just giving respect for each other.
We seen earlier this year you and John Riel were supposed to fight. Something happened. Now you both signed with Pro Bello. Do you think that's the final step to making it happen? Now that both of you guys are on the same side of the same team.
I don't think he signed with Pro Bello, but I know Richard's gonna make things happen. If it's something that I want in terms of like getting all the belts, that's definitely a possibility. That's definitely what I am gonna be doing after this fight. Is reaching out to other world champions and getting all those belts.
And then my final question is just to elaborate on future plans. Obviously, you fought in New with the top-ranked promotions. I guess similar to the question about Casimiro. And when it comes to the politics and things, which fight would probably be more easier for you to accomplish?
Well, in the ring, I believe the Casimiro fight is an easier fight. I believe that the Inoue fight is going to be a very tremendous fight for me, like it did the last time. But again, I'll leave it up to Richard to decide which one in the negotiation is easier and better for me. But we definitely will go after both guys.
Last question for me. Another Filipino great, Manny Pacquiao, seems like 3 months he's going to be running for president. What's your message for Pacquiao in his presidential run?
Keep true to your heart, and the best wishes and best luck, and just have confidence in yourself. That's it. It's for the people. If it's for the people, give them your heart, give them who you are, and show them who you are. That's pretty much what I can give to him. In terms of running for that. Just be truthful, be honest, and allow them to see who you are.
And the last message to your fans before we
I want to say what's up to you guys. Thank you guys for coming. I want to please come watch the fight. Fight brain, we just forget stuff sometimes. Hopefully you guys can check out the fight on Showtime, and if not, please come to the fight at Carson at the Dignity Health. And I wanna just make it out there that it's gonna be an amazing fight. So stay tuned, don't miss it. It's gonna be a fantastic fight, fireworks all over the place. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Don't blink.
Rachel.
We've been out
Away we go, bro. Bring your partner, man.
Fighters have. It's amazing, and I'd be very happy to work with Japanese.
Yeah. Thanks. All right. Let's do a team shot. Daisuke-san. Can I borrow Richard for a turn? Hey, Richard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Richard's story too is always a quarter Canadian.
All right, you guys ready? 1, 2. All right, one more for the camera. The phone.
You want a funny one?
Hey, Lex.
All right, here you guys go. 1, 2. All right, got you guys. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
Appreciate you. It's okay. I'll send it to you.
Make sure you get that picture. Yeah.
What's up, man?
You missed the shot of the day.
I know. Come on, man. That's what you're there for.
You know better than that, man.
Yeah, we'll send you this. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Everything good?
Yes, everything's amazing. Amazing. Thank you.
You're staying here?
Yes.
There you go. Thank you. Okay, so last question because I've got to go to another meeting. Yes.
Amazing. The conditions are amazing. Very ready mentally, physically,
Yes, absolutely. I think it's still possible. I think that it's possible. And you don't have to. There's no problem when you talk shit.
I just when you start realize that this is always been a small guy, and I knew I could make the weight, so I was very confident that I mean this weight I am actually I think I had a good respect for the you know, it's getting better. So that's shows that once you're getting better, everybody's gonna be excited when we do that. It's my goal. It's my goal.
All right, guys. Appreciate you guys staying and locked in. We got some Donaire. We got some Brandon Lee. You know, this is gonna be a really interesting fight. You know, in Donaire in his later career. We've seen him have a tremendous performance against Wally. You know, we saw reminiscence of his power, speed. It looked practically the same fighter from years ago. So it's gonna be interesting seeing him face his, you know, interim challenge holder, Gaballo. And you know, of course, not gonna be able to look at his opponent. And hopefully, if he does, he can hopefully get a rematch with Inoue or Casimiro unification. You know, these type of fights are really important for sport of boxing to get along. And so on the undercard too, you do also have, you know, two really good fights. You know, someone who's been in line for Earl Spence for a long time and facing an undefeated fighter, in addition to a top future, you know, possible champion, Brandon Lee, who's coming off of a crazy knockout streak, and you know, and he's facing someone who's been in there with a guy named Regis Progress, which everyone knows. So this is going to be a really interesting card. It's going to be a lot of telling is going to be happening. So, but just stay locked in. We're going to have a whole bunch of content flowing in through the website and the YouTube channel. We got coverage from the Lomachenko fight. We got some stuff from Conor Ben and Chris Algieri. You know, so Lomachenko, Richard Bowman, Conor Ben, Chris Algieri, Donaire, Brandon Lee. I mean, we got so many different contents and things that's going to be coming up this week. So just stay locked in, like always. You know, so more importantly, we appreciate you guys always coming in and showing us love. So until then, just stay locked in. We got more content dropping.
I see you, Roger. Give me the great words. I see you.
Hey, wait. You guys have